What's going on? Welcome back to the Shandy Speaks podcast. It's your girl, Shandy. I had to do like a few takes of that because the intro just sounded weird, but I'm here. We did it. I'm back another week. It's your girl, Shandy. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in wherever you're listening from, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever. I got a couple new followers this week. Shout out to those new followers. I'm just going to jump right into it, y'all, because as you know, I'm going to Costa Rica tomorrow. It's officially here. Y'all been hearing about it for like the last 75 days every week since December, since I booked the flight. And we're officially here. My countdown says 1 day. My countdown on my phone. It doesn't even say the number. It spells out 1 day. 3 hours and 14 minutes. I'm hella excited. Super excited. Here we are. I didn't think I was going to make it this far. I was supposed to, I don't know, have a couple meltdowns. Did I have some meltdowns? Yes, I did, since I booked the flight. But we made it. Made it here. I have everything that I needed on my to-do list done. The only thing I have to do right now is kind of just wait. Well, right now I'm waiting for a pedicure. I'm here in beautiful Sedona, Arizona, still, and I'm in uptown Sedona here 3 hours early for my pedicure because anyone who knows about Sedona, Arizona, the traffic is insane. In the next 45 minutes, it's only like 7:30 in the morning right now, but here in the next, oh, hold on, I don't even have my thing on. Hold on. Here we go. Can you hear me? Okay. Here in the next 45, like you can hear it, like kind of, I'm sure the microphone's picking up the traffic, the roaring traffic in the background. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing traffic reports from me about Sedona, Arizona, but it's real. If you're considering moving here, just don't. Sedona is one of those places. Oh my God, that just reminded me. I had this crazy story. You know what? I ran into a Sedonian. Theoretically, this person was a Sedonian. Crazy interaction with a Sedonian, and not in a good way. And luckily I recorded a clip, of course, because I have to like express myself and vent it out. I recorded my own little voice recording that no one else was supposed to hear. But, I'm going to throw that clip in at the end of this story. It's basically me running into a Sedonian a couple days ago while I was like at the park. It was wild. Such a wild situation. I don't actually want to relive those emotions right now. So I'm just going to throw in the clip at the end of this episode because, I'm going out of the country here in the next 28 hours or so. I'll be on a plane. And, I got just better use of my energy right now. Respectfully, I know this podcast is something that no one asked me to do, but I'm doing it still. Kinda. I'm throwing that clip at the end. Wild. Yeah, so I'm here 3 hours early for my pedicure appointment because I don't want to be sitting in traffic. This is my last time in my van for until the end of the month, until next month. I don't want to be driving around being anxious or irritated. There was a time in my life when I was like, not in my life, like literally within the last couple months since I've been in Sedona, a few months. I've been here since August, and I used to always joke about not getting mad in traffic. It's so funny. And it's not like, yeah, it is. I'm not going to say it's not like the traffic. Like, it's beautiful, and it's not like I'm getting mad in traffic, but I definitely prefer to avoid it at all costs. I'm sort of mad about the traffic. How about that? I don't get mad in traffic because it is beautiful. It's such a beautiful place, and really, how can you be mad? Everyone wants to, behold the beauty. But it does kind of upset me sometimes when all I'm trying to do is go 2 miles down the street to the gym or to get some dog food or anything. Like 2 miles away is like, it's your day. It's your fucking day. It takes you forever to get there. It takes you to forever to get back. And by the time you've gotten through all that traffic, no, I wasn't mad in the traffic, but I'm tired. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm kind of slightly irritable. And it's funny because, that clip at the end that I'm going to add, it maybe had a little bit of irritation when I ran into that stranger at the park. And he just, projected it back to me. But it's, Sedona's energy it's 𝙬𝙭𝙤𝙪𝙩. And I guess I just got to live with it. What else? What did I want to talk about this week? Let me just get into the podcast because I got shit to do today. Not really. I got to get my nails done, get some dog food, finish packing. Yeah, that's really why I'm recording this podcast so early, because I'm planning on bringing all my recording equipment with me to Costa Rica. So I got to just finish this up and pack it up. Then I'll be fully officially packed after this. Okay, I got a few topics this week. I think here are my notes. I could have done more research, I feel, but a part of me just didn't have the energy to. A few topics here. I feel like it should be good enough to fill in this episode. Yeah, definitely gonna upload that clip of the guy at the park. Here are my notes. I have a story time. Oh my God, about alcohol. I had my first alcoholic beverage this year. So St. Patrick's Day is today. Oh my God. I didn't even realize it. That's how much I high key just don't care about these holidays or any of this shit. But apparently today is St. Patrick's Day. Today is March 17th. So this episode will be for tomorrow, March 18th. By the time this will be uploaded, I will be, or by the time you hear it, I will already be in Costa Rica, or on the way. So today's St. Patrick's Day. So here in Sedona, they celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Like, really, you know what? I've never actually seen a city celebrate St. Patrick's Day the way Sedona celebrates St. Patrick's Day. And I don't know how, that's just kind of, it feels weird. I don't know. Like, I get it. What the fuck is St. Patrick's Day for anyway? I wanted to actually look that up, but I hardly give a shit. So they had this like parade in Sedona this past weekend, and then I got invited out to an Irish pub, a local Irish pub that night, and it was my first time having drinks at the bar. Do I want to get into this story? Yeah, it's my first time having drinks this year. Okay, so anyone who's followed any of my van life diaries or my other episodes, I have a history of alcoholic abuse. I know I do. And it usually starts when I go out of the country because I have all this time and space to myself and extra money and, maybe a little socially awkward. So it's like, it gives me it's like confidence juice. And then whenever I get back from vacation, I kind of just continue that trend, sort of chasing that high. The rest of the year, I'm like battling alcohol addiction. Really, I guess I can call it that. Let's just call it what it is, right? When I have to count how many days it's been since I've had a drink, I have a problem. When I can't go a full day without thinking about should I go get a drink or should I get some food, I have a problem. And that was all last year. And this year, I have not had a single drop of alcohol. Not a single drop of alcohol. And I went out for St. Patrick's Day weekend because I am almost 9% Irish. Don't know if you knew that, but yeah, I took a DNA test a while ago. Turns out I'm like 8.9% or something around there, 8.8% Irish. I'm more Irish than my Caucasian ex-husband. So there's that. So I was like, oh, cool. It'd be cute. I have a shirt that says "Kiss Me. I'm 9% Irish." And I went out and I had 3 beers. 3 beers and a Jell-O shot. And I basically poisoned myself. It's basically poison. I wanted to look in. I'm probably going to do a deep dive into alcoholic abuse and generational alcohol addiction. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like this will probably be the first vacation that I go on where I don't just drink every day, because it's really not even that fun. Low key, it's really not even that fun. It's kind of it's harming to my body. It's damaging to my body, and it makes me feel like shit. The whole next day, I was like, off of 3 beers, I felt like shit the whole day. So now I dedicated a whole 2 days for just one night out and just trying to heal myself and hydrate myself. You know, I fucking puked. Y'all, I don't know. This is TM. I puked directly as soon as I got in my car and like basically passed out almost in a puddle of my own vomit. Now, if that's not like the pinnacle of like, this is just the saddest view for a 36-year-old person. I'm sorry. I don't know who does that who can do that regularly every weekend, but I woke up like a few hours later like, wow, this isn't not fun. This is just not fun. It's literally poison. And it's crazy. A part of my identity or personality even sort of resonated strongly with the bar culture, the bar community. Like, you know, I'm regulars at a few bars around town, usually wherever I go. Georgia, Colorado, Arizona, Chicago. Usually wherever I go, I'm a regular at least a couple bars for a period of time. And that's, I don't know, it just doesn't it doesn't hit the same right now, you know? Maybe it's the maturity growing. It just doesn't hit the same. So, yeah, that's kind of really all the story time I wanted to say about that. What happened at that bar? No, I think that was just like my big takeaway is like that I'm not, it's just not hitting the same, and I'm just not resonating with the bar culture and the people and the vibes of the bar scene. Just not vibing with it anymore. Okay. What else happened this week? So there was apparently oh my God. I have to have some kind of political comment or political commentary at least once a week, it seems like, because that's just kind of what I'm coming across. If something strikes my attention as bizarre or crazy or interesting, I'm gonna dive into it. Just ever so slightly, not so much to where it consumes me, but ever so slightly. And this week, the big one that I'm seeing on my notes here is there's a King of the World statue set up. I have a link here from Fast Company, but from my memory, I'm pretty sure there was like a golden statue or a statue that looked like it was gold put up. I think first reaction, it kind of made me laugh, but at the same time, it's like, wow, and like, good for them. Good for anyone who went that far. Can we bring back artistic protesting? Because I think it was artistic above everything. The first reaction was, it was humorous. It was laughable to me. And then the next thought was, we need to bring back more artistic expressions in our protesting like this. Apparently there's this gold statue. I'm going to read the article from Fast Company. It says another Trump Epstein statue pops up on the National Mall. Sidebar, I didn't even realize there was a first statue, which I had to dive into that. Apparently there was a different statue of someone made, I don't know, maybe it was the same artist, who was like, it was a golden statue of Donald Trump and Epstein holding hands and sort of like frolicking. It looked like they were like frolicking together. I just thought it was funny, but good. I'm happy that we're getting some kind of like people are stopping to look at it. How can you really be mad at it? Like, come on. Okay, so the article is from Fast Company. It says another Trump Epstein statue pops up on the National Mall. The King of the World is the latest installation satirizing the president's relationship with Epstein from a prolific anonymous art group. On the morning of March 10th, so this was a few days ago. Yeah, this was last Tuesday, the day before my last podcast. But on the morning of March 10th, a 12-foot tall golden statue featuring President Donald Trump embracing the now deceased convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein appeared on the lawn of the National Mall. Oh, America. America. The statue titled The King of the World shows Trump and Epstein atop a plinth shaped like a tiny boat, clearly riffing on the iconic scene from James Cameron's Titanic. It follows a similar statue erected back in November called Best Friends Forever, which depicted Trump and Epstein frolicking together on the mall while holding hands. The tragic love story between Jack and Rose was built on luxurious travel, raucous parties, and secret nude sketches. The King of the World's plaque reads, "This monument honors the bond between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, a friendship seemingly built on luxurious travel, raucous parties, and secret nude sketches." Both statues are the handiwork of The Secret Handshake, which is an anonymous artist collective that has spent the past several months lampooning Trump and his administration with a series of larger-than-life public installations. Recently, the group has directed most of its energy toward calling attention to the 15-year-long friendship between Trump and the disgraced financier who died in a New York prison cell in 2019. Okay, well, yeah, it is what it is. I just thought that was funny. I don't know. They probably took it down by now, but it's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous. There was something. It's like, I think I found out, like, the White House has a TikTok. Why does the White House have a TikTok with 6 million followers? What the fuck is up with that? I didn't even go. What drove me to that? I think it came up on my fucking... Oh my God, that's what it was. The White House, oh my God, this past week came out with like a fucking ad or a campaign or some kind of commercial featuring the background music of Lil Wayne's Fireman. Oh my God, and that's when I discovered that the White House has a TikTok. If you didn't know that, they have 6 million followers. What the fuck? I have a screenshot here. It says the White House launched an official TikTok account in August of 2025. So this is like fresh, kind of fresh. Like as soon as I moved to Sedona, the White House created a TikTok. In 2025 to directly reach, engage, and influence younger voters and the app's 170 plus million U.S. users, particularly following President Trump's 2024 campaign success on the platform. It serves as a new tool to disseminate administration messages and promote accomplishments despite prior security concerns. This is just wild. What times are we living in? Am I too old for this? Okay, boomer. I'm not even a fucking boomer. I'm a millennial. Kind of. I'm kind of right in the middle of millennial and what's after that. I don't want to be a part of these single alphabet generations. But I feel like the White House should not have a social media account, especially like a TikTok. I feel like a social media account should be like a political social media account, not something like a TikTok. That's wild. I don't know. I'm late to the fucking... late to find out everything. I'm going to keep reading. It says, key reasons for the White House joining TikTok. They're reaching the younger demographic. The administration aims to utilize the platform to communicate with Gen Z and young voters, a demographic with high engagement on the app. No shit. Direct communication. Political strategy, media consumption trends. I think that's enough TikTok for me for today. I got a couple TikTok posts that I'm going to read here later too. But I thought that was weird. So there was this fucking commercial. I don't remember it because I don't like putting like actual energy into it, and I don't like viewing things because I don't want my algorithm to be all fucked up. So from my memory, I saw it a few days ago. It was like essentially like Donald Trump, like Someone made the video of Donald Trump just like being Donald Trump, and then they're showing clips of the war going on in Iran or Israel, Dubai, all over there on the east side, Middle East. And in the background, like as these bombs are going off, you hear the Fireman song by Lil Wayne. And then I kind of went on a little tangent here because I was, what does it say? The account, okay, so the White House TikTok account debuted with a message, "America, we are back. What's up, TikTok?" and has continued to expand its presence, including launching a separate account for the U.S. cabinet. Oy vey. Oy vey. So I went and asked AI, please describe the correlation between the government creating a hip-hop culture for the younger generation and then using that culture to communicate with them. And there's reasons why they choose hip-hop, why they choose Lil Wayne or Kendrick Lamar or all these rappers and people in hip-hop to send their political message. And it's like they created that culture. Like the Jews, yeah, I said it. The Jews, all the people in the entertainment industry, they're creating this culture for the kids to consume so that they can politically manipulate them. I don't know. I asked AI to describe the correlation between that. And apparently there's a lot of reasons why it works for them. It says the correlation between the government creating a hip-hop culture for the younger generation and utilizing it as a means of communication is rooted in several factors. Cultural relevance. Hip-hop resonates deeply with many young people, especially in urban areas, as it reflects their experiences, struggles, and aspirations. The genre's relatability makes it an effective medium for conveying messages that might otherwise be ignored in other musical genres like country music, which may not speak to the same demographic in the same way. Influence and reach. Hip-hop has a massive influence on youth culture, not just in the United States, but globally. It transcends race and socioeconomic boundaries, making it a strategic choice for the government to reach and engage with a diverse audience. Authenticity and voice. Hip-hop often embodies a sense of authenticity and gives voice to the marginalized. By engaging with hip-hop artists, the government can tap into its authenticity, promoting messages that resonate more convincingly with young people. Artists who embody the lived experiences of their audience may be more effective messengers than those in other genres. Historical context. Hip-hop arose in response to social and political issues, such as racial inequality, poverty, and police brutality. This historical connection positions hip-hop as a cultural force that can address contemporary issues, making it a suitable medium for ongoing dialogues about important societal matters. And then it goes on to creative expression, accessibility, and relatability. So I then followed up with another question on AI chat box with what are the systemic boundaries that exist to make most people's lives align closely with hip-hop culture. Because I just feel like it's just too easy for these young people to be manipulated or swayed to this side or the other. Like, it's just easily manipulated. Okay, so Chatbox says, several systemic boundaries contribute to the alignment of many people's lives with hip-hop culture, particularly among marginalized communities. These boundaries can include economic disparities, geographic segregation, social injustice, cultural representation, educational barriers, media influence, community dynamics, peer influence. Together, these systemic boundaries shape the context in which individuals live and express themselves, making hip-hop culture a significant and relatable part of their lives. As a result, it becomes a powerful vehicle for expression, identity, and social commentary, particularly within marginalized communities. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. I wanted to do a deep dive on it, but I think I got lost in the sauce with that because, yeah, I was already just appalled that there was a TikTok for the White House in general, and then they're using Lil Wayne. They're using like a hip hop legend to send whatever message they're going. They're like pro-war, pro-bombing, whoever the fuck they were bombing in that fucking video. I just think it's a little distasteful. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Personally, why couldn't y'all use like Willie Nelson or some other country artist or anyone else to reach the youth or whoever? And yeah, according to AI, it's because like no one relates to country music. People mostly relate to hip hop music. And the cycle continues. And they put out the music for you to relate to so that they can reach you at that level and basically get you to do whatever you want. Am I being a conspiracy? Am I being hippy dippy woo woo again? Damn it, Chandie, you're doing it again. Let's just move on. I haven't been talking for that long, but I got some other notes I want to get to. I learned that in 1719, apparently, France, I don't know why this came across my algorithm, and I did some research. It said France deported hundreds of Parisian prisoners, including, basically in France, they deported prisoners, and they all moved to Louisiana colony. Google, let me do this quick time. I got an article here from Time. I didn't know that, but it explains a lot. I've never been to Louisiana, but I know some people from Louisiana and who have told me crazy stories, really. I have this one friend from Louisiana who told me that they still had, and this was back in like 2015, so over 10 years ago. I don't know if it's still there, but apparently there was a hanging tree that was still left up in Louisiana, a hanging tree they kept up for nostalgia, and that was off to me. I don't know if they still have that tree or if there's many other trees that they hung Black Americans from. But anyway, this article from Time says, deported from France as convicts, these women helped build New Orleans. That's right. They weren't even just any prisoners. They were women. I think they were accused of prostitution, or they were accused of being just unclean or impure. It says, on December 12th, 1719, a ship named La Mutine, the mutinous woman, left the French port of 𝙁Havre. I cannot read these fucking words. The frigate was bound for the boat. Okay, the fucking boat was bound for the vast territory in what is now the United States that the French called Louisiana, in honor of King Louis. I think that's like 9, 10, 14, 10, 15. The vessel transported only female passengers, all of them convicts taken from one of Paris's most notorious prisons. Okay, you kind of have to think. I don't think that there was that many fucking women prisoners in 1719, like legitimate prisoners. I think if they were prisoners, they were probably like, they were called a witch, or they were too smart, or fucking they had eyes that smiled, and they were like, throw this woman in jail. I highly doubt there was like so many legitimate female prisoners back then, because come on, really? Enough to populate a whole fucking city. Where was I reading from? The vessel transported only female passengers, all of them convicts taken from one of Paris's most notorious prisons. Most of the 96 women on board had been labeled prostitutes. 96 women is actually not that much. But they were labeled prostitutes, as if they had been legally convicted of engaging in the exchange of sexual acts for money. But the reality behind the mutinous women's lives in France is far more complicated. Many of the prisoners had been arrested only months before departure, with corrupt officers of the Parisian police were rounding up women specifically to be shipped off across the Atlantic. Authorities had suddenly become aware of a critical lack of French women in a colony that Indies company officials hoped to develop quickly and turn into a major producer of tobacco, thus allowing France to rival English colonies along the Chesapeake. Any woman out and about in the streets of Paris was in danger of being arrested on trumped-up charges. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. I feel like I read this article. I did read it like a couple days ago, but it was wild to me. I'm like, there can't be that many legitimate criminals. And they took him out and they shipped him to America. Among them was Manon Fatouan, a 19-year-old illiterate Parisian street vendor who was walking the cobblestones of her native city all day long, selling day-old fruit from a basket strapped around her waist when she was arrested and charged with murder. What the fuck? Sheesh. Even though Manon had been elsewhere at the time of the crime and could prove it, oh my God. Under questioning, the alleged witnesses who had testified against her all admitted that they had never seen her before. Oh my God. Manon Fatouan spent 19 years behind bars until she was transported to Louisiana. Ain't that some shit? I'm only going to read a little bit more of this article. The women who survived the crossing were dropped off first on an island off the coast of what is now Alabama, then on a beach in what is now Mississippi. Wow, the more you know. This would have been a great Black History Month topic because this is crazy. And it's all in the South, bro. It's Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, all down there. It's just rich history of this shit. Where was I? Mutinous women soon made their way to nearby French outposts such as Mobile and to places as distant as Illinois and Arkansas. They helped found French posts in spots up and down the Mississippi, from Natchez to the Gulf Coast, and when Louisiana was given a new capital, mutinous woman Manon Fontaine, foremost among them, were among the founding inhabitants of the city named New Orleans. Then it goes on about their history. I just think the whole thing is fucking crazy. Yeah. That's something I just learned this past week. I don't think I have much else after that. We talked about the prisoners, the fucking statue, Lil Wayne, hip hop culture. I have some TikTok posts. Let's get into these TikTok posts and comments, and then we're gonna go into the J. Cole Fall Off Weekly Review. I'm gonna throw in that clip, and I'll see you guys next week. I don't have any YouTube comments, but last week I had technical difficulties with my fucking podcast because I thought I was recording it. Turns out I wasn't recording. I was just talking and to myself in my van. And I did do a deep dive on one of these posts last week, but I'm going to just do a brief dive on these posts and just read some comments from the people who were triggered. I'm only going to read from the posts that have over 1,000 views because I made a different post, but it didn't quite get there, and I don't think it's really worth talking about right now. If you're not already following me on all the social media platforms, go follow me. It's your girl, Chandie. Chandie Speaks, CHANDIE Speaks. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, you name it. If you are interested in following my Costa Rica travel, I will be making episodes for every day while I'm in Costa Rica, and they will be on my YouTube channel and my international playlist. So go check those out. They won't be up obviously right away, but they will be out soon. I'll let you guys know when they drop. I'm always posting stories on my personal Instagram page, so go follow me there. Go follow me, okay? This post I made on TikTok was on the 8th. I don't really care. I feel like I don't even want to go over it again because I went over it last week, even though I wasn't recording. But I'm just going to read some comments from them. I'm not going to give my 2 cents. The post I made on the 8th says, heterosexual male culture is low-key homoerotic. I did have some links set up to back that up, but it's kind of common knowledge now at this point. Going off of these comments, I'm just going to read it. It's a public post, so yeah, you can go read them yourself too, or as well. James Dina writes, not even low key, to be honest. They're referring to the the homoerotic nature of heterosexual male culture not even being low-key. Maddie writes, like Bob the drag queen says, straight people don't exist. User 5814 with 28 other fucking numbers after that I'm not going to read says, it's hilarious that leftists have no clue what it's like to have actual friends, and they're so overtly sexualized while being sex-starved that things like admiration, loyalty, and respect for other men is gay. Yeah, I'm not going to go over these comments like my 2 cents, but I'm going to read what someone responded to that person with, saying, Trinkets 8210 says, when you're married, hang out alone with a friend of the opposite sex, then come back to this comment. And then the user responds, been married for a decade and will never be alone with a woman that isn't my wife. Waddles responds, oh, that's totally normal. Then they go on swinging each other's internet dicks at each other, and yeah, you guys can go read that if you want. Okay, so the next comment is from Dan, saying, so now being straight is gay? Which I thought was funny. And then Gina Girlstrap responds, we have always known this. What do you think about the NFL? What do you think the NFL is all about? And then he responds, Dan responds, so I'm going to have to say that y'all need to quit. If there are hard feelings out there towards the gay community, it's because of crap like this. You want to be gay, but I'm not cis or any other pronoun. I'm straight, period. Okay, and I don't think he understands what fucking cis or pronouns mean, clearly, but okay, I'm reliving the emotions I gathered. Like, I don't get involved in these fires that I start on TikTok. I literally just set the fire and then I walk away for a couple days. And if anyone has a genuine thought or a genuine input, then I'll respond to it. But mostly this is just for entertainment and for self-reflection. I would love for people to just read the post and then read someone else's comments, or not read someone's comments and just reflect on how they feel about that post. That's it. This is all for reflection. I'm getting just so far off the comments that I read, a lot of men who are defending their brohood, and with a name like Gina Girlstrap, it sounds like you're a lesbian, bro. So like, why are lesbians commenting on this? I don't know. This post is in no way coming down on the homoerotic culture of heterosexual men. It's no way coming down on the gays at all in any way. This is literally just for self-reflection and for entertainment. And then, yeah, I don't know. This guy's going on about pronouns. I don't think he understands what's going on here. I'm gonna just read the next comment. Waddles writes, I believe that conservative men are all closeted. The conservative cowboy writes, man, they're bitter. Men are winning Women of the Year. Kimmy's writes, when a guy is super anti-gay, I just know it's because he's denying a part of himself and taking it out on others who are happy. I'm always almost over this fucking post. The only comment that I liked on here was from Serial Sneer, and they said, always the last to know, which I thought was hilarious. So I laughed. Serena writes, they literally only ever talk about what's gay and in explicit descriptions. Tommy Burgers, this is funny. Tommy Burgers writes, it's true. I close my eyes and think about my friend while I'm banging his wife. I think we're going to end it on that note because I already went over this post last week, so it's like, it feels kind of deja vu-y. My next post had over 1,500 views. Now, I did go over this post last week as well with my technical difficulties, and long story totally short, I did not find hard evidence to back this up. So I'm just going to say that this is just something that made me feel good when I heard it, and so I reposted it. And I tried to search for it the evidence. The post says it's not natural for women to submit because the creator never submits to its creation. I know the wording, I worded it the way that I did for a reason, to trigger some part of people. But as far as it being a fact, I can't say that it's not a fact. I just know that it's been a debate in society, in our culture, for a long fucking time. And I'm going to just read the comments here that I got. Johnny B writes, women don't create people. Creating is making something out of nothing. Yeah, so these comments are going to be from guys mostly who are just really just wanting to dominate a woman or control a woman. That's what I'm gathering. The energy around this post. And that's just how it is. That's just what got drawn out from the wording. So Johnny B writes, women don't create people. Creating is making something out of nothing. Okay. Maddie A says, okay. Cara Fry says, we submit out of love, not fear. And a lot of people responded to her saying, 5072 says, the fuck we do. Roxy says, ew. Beebs says, the problem is most men don't dominate out of love, which may be a point. Like I said, I haven't found hard evidence to back this up as fact. It just sounds good. It felt good to hear. I'm just keeping it real. Green is in says, maybe you do. Hard pass for the rest of us. Patty says, no, you submit because you were literally conditioned to. Saying a human submits to another human is literally insane. I think that's what it's. It's social conditioning. It's also a debate. Like it goes back and forth. Brat, right? Who is we? And I like that comment. Okay. Not many interesting comments here. Like I said, I don't really have much going on this week. Sick writes, do you think women form babies via parthenogenesis? It takes a male and a female, brother. Not just your creation. And then I Love Gooning responds, women have to carry it for 9 months, then deal with all the physical and mental problems that come with it. Men just have fun for 5 minutes and nut. This is not an equal effort. It really isn't. Like, it really fucking isn't when you really think about it. Women are the creators of life. But someone responds to them, can't read their name. It's just emojis. Responds, nope, the sperm is just for fertilization. Women are the ones using nutrients and materials from all of their organs to support and create the life. How many men have died or had complications from ejaculating compared to women that have died giving birth? Chrissy responds to that comment as well, saying, y'all take 1 minute. Women grow and create the life for 9 months. Get a grip. And then there's several more comments. People go back and forth. I'm going to read the next comment and then get on to the next post. Lil 𝘗𝗶𝘀𝘶 writes, men are top tier at submitting to other men too. Just look at the military. Yikes. Bob from accounting writes, no one should submit unless you're into that. It should always be a democracy. I think that was a good answer. Time for Therapy writes, both submit since the creation was produced by both. The woman is also the vessel, but a woman cannot create on its own. Kat writes, the man, this is the only comment it looks like that I liked. Kat writes, in quotation marks, the man helps create the child too. They contribute about as much as your average group project partner in high school. Lost writes, men are the creator, women are the vessel. Dune Drifter writes, it says husbands, not sons. Actually, it doesn't say husbands or sons. So people literally, they read a post and they just interpret it however they want. And then they get mad at you for their own interpretation. Like, you have control over that, right? If you need some clarification, you could just ask for some clarification. Because I didn't say it's unnatural. It's not natural for women to submit to their husbands or sons. Even in the caption, even in my caption, I wrote, the natural order is disrupted when women submit, for the creator, by definition, holds dominion over its creation. You can interpret that however way you want. Did not write boys or men. And this guy was going on about, well, women don't submit to their sons? Bullshit. Okay. Okay. I'm over this post already. So much unhealed shit going on TikTok, and it's a reminder, every post that I make, every post, doesn't matter what the post is, the unhealed will expose themselves. That's how it goes. This last post that I made 2 days ago, it got a little bit of, it didn't get as much conversation, but let's just say that the non-melanated community weren't really happy about me making that post, which is actually based off of facts, you guys. So the post itself, I posted 2 days ago, it's just numbers. And I'm just actually going to give a quick shout out to, I'm actually finding the actual content creator who made their own post about this, and I just simplified it and made it into a reel on TikTok. But I did do the research, and the guy was spitting facts. Bars. The guy was spitting nothing but facts. This was a reel posted on Instagram. Can't find him anywhere else. Didn't look for him anywhere else. But it came across my algorithm through a mutual friend. And the account name is Chaz. Oh my God, I could not fucking pronounce it. I'll just spell it. 𝙤𝗵𝗶𝘀.𝗫𝗓. 𝘁𝗵𝗶𝘀. Originally made a post correlating these two seemingly unrelated topics. The post that I made on TikTok says 74% of female serial killers are Caucasian. And 40%, almost half of those women, worked as nurses or in other healthcare-related professions. 40%, almost half of all abortions are performed on black women. Do as you will with that information. I'm gonna just go over that note by note. 74% of female serial killers are Caucasian. That is a fact. That means that most women who are serial killers are white. Most female serial killers are Caucasian. 74% of them. Fact. And of those Caucasian female serial killers, 40% of those women, almost half, have worked as nurses or in other healthcare-related professions. So I think I worded this the best way I could. Most female serial killers are white, and most of those women work in the healthcare field. Like, those are not the unrelated topics. I just think it's kind of what drives Caucasian women to be in healthcare or to be nurses and be serial killers. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. This is the part that may seem like it's unrelated, but is it really though? Is it really unrelated? 40%, and I've talked about this before because you guys know I'm pro-life, anti-abortion. 40%, almost half of all abortions are performed on black women. Now, that's literally me just giving two pieces of unrelated information, but I feel like there is some kind of correlation there. The point of me posting that had nothing to do with calling out the female serial killers or calling out all of the millions of aborted black babies every year. I wasn't even calling that out. I have other posts calling those things out. This post was to sort of provoke the black community, and that's why I feel it didn't reach who I needed it to reach. And that's okay. I'm used to just making these posts and it not reaching my intended audience or getting my point across. My point was I wanted to provoke, just like the guy in the video where I got this information from, he wanted to provoke black people to enter into the medical field so they can saturate the market so that we can be responsible for our own mortality. You guys know that black babies have the highest mortality rate among all the races. If you're a black baby, you have a high chance of dying within the first year of your life compared to every other race. It's like over twice as much for Caucasian. I don't know exactly where it falls over Asians and Hispanics and all that other stuff, but yeah, the black baby mortality rate is the highest among all the races, and we all know that black women have the most abortions. Blame that on like education. We can blame that on lack of resources or cultural hypnotic programming or whatever have you. But that is a fact. That is a number. Let me read an article I found. It's just really kind of fucked up. As of 2022 to 2023, this is just a basic general Google search I did. The U.S. physician workforce is predominantly white, approximately 56 to 64%, while black or African American physicians are significantly underrepresented, making up only about 5 to 5.7% of active doctors. I just think it would be beneficial for black people to get into the medical field, just for the sake of our offspring, these black babies, millions of black babies that get aborted every year. Am I on a soapbox? Yeah, I am. I am pro-life. I am anti-abortion. I'm not trying to point fingers or, like I said, I told people to do as they will with that information. I just think it's like they're just two separate facts that they just so happen to blend well in my head. 74% of female serial killers being Caucasian, and 40% of those women working as healthcare-related professionals, and then 40% of all abortions, almost half of all abortions being performed on black women. I'm going to read the comments on TikTok. Y'all can probably already guess that white women were kind of upset, but there are a lot of people who agreed, I guess, likes-wise. I'm going to just read the comments. Juan says, Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, openly stated that the goal of her organization was to get rid of black babies. She also started what she called the Negro Project. I don't actually know if that's true or not. Amanda Hayes says this is untrue. In fact, she was not even pro-abortion. She was pro-contraception. I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that I don't fuck with Planned Parenthood. Me and my own personal energy and beliefs, I believe Planned Parenthood was planted on the people. That's I'm going to die on that hill. I don't care. Planned Parenthood, I think, I believe, was just created for population control, specifically toward the black community, because they have the most abortions. It has to be. Rather, that was like their full-blown intention. That's how it came out. Like, that's how it manifested. That's what's happening. Black women are having the most abortions performed on them. So I've never fucked with Planned Parenthood. Sassy writes, what? Ty writes, oh my God. 𝘵𝗶𝗀𝗶𝘀 𝘗𝙭𝗫𝗀𝗔𝗍, can't read your fucking name, says, are you trying to say that abortion is murder? Are you trying to link that together? Because while the facts that you have on the screen are true, abortion is healthcare, and the mortality rates of black pregnant women are due to medical racism and misogyny. Rochelle responded to that girl's comment saying, shut the fuck up, which is really what I wanted to say too. Shut the fuck up. Abortion is not healthcare. It's not. You have, this isn't going to be my pro-life podcast. I've already did a few of those already, but you have several other options before abortion. Claiming it's healthcare it's just your lack of accountability. You just can't admit that you fucked up, and now you have to live with your consequences of your actions, which is raising a fucking child. So you're going to call it healthcare, and say that it's your choice and you're going to murder a fucking baby. And shame on you. Anyway, I get too riled up over this. This was not even a pro-life post. This was sort of trying to, like I said, to provoke black people to be like, you know what? We need to be bringing more babies of our own into the world instead of putting it into the hands of others, because most of them actually want us dead. And that's not an opinion. That is a statistical fact. 𝙁𝗵𝙶𝙁𝗵𝙀𝙁 writes, so you're trying to say black women had unwanted abortions performed on them by white women, quote, serial killers in healthcare? It's a stretch, that's for sure. And I responded to them, given the history of discrimination in the U.S. medical field, is it really a stretch? Really? Like, come on. User 937 and a bunch of other numbers writes, do what with two completely unrelated facts? And I basically reiterated, given the history of discrimination in the U.S. medical field, are they really unrelated? I didn't respond to many people here. I only I wrote this 2 days ago, and I just responded to that guy last night. Jules writes, I read the first sentence and thought people of color, women, need to step it up. Lord, what is wrong with me? I guess they were thinking, like when they read 74% of female serial killers are Caucasian, their first thought was, man, black women need to kill more people, get their numbers up. What is wrong with me? So I responded to them. I said the purpose of this post is to motivate black people to enter the medical field and increase representation. Racism has been ingrained in the country's healthcare system throughout its history and continues to be a problem today, and no one will care for black people better than black people. And I think that's really all the highlights of my comments. Oh, Living Water writes, so you didn't speak on the babies getting murdered. And I responded, see my other pro-life posts. Because I've already talked about that. That's it for that. I think that's it for everything. Am I done? Oh, thank God I'm done. Been talking for over an hour. I'm going to throw that clip in at the end anyway. This is going to be a good episode. Let's go over the J. Cole Fall Off Weekly Review. If you are not a J. Cole fan, this is the end of the podcast for you. J. Cole, Jermaine Cole. I'm still bumping the Fall Off. It's day 25, day 26, something like that. I started listening. Yeah, it'll be 30 days tomorrow. I started listening February 18th. It's March 17th. I've been listening for almost a month straight, every single day since the Fall Off have been released. I feel weird without listening to it. When I go anywhere, I have my headphones on, bumping something from the Fall Off, period. I don't actually remember my stats from last week, but I have it here on my Spotify. On Spotify, from March 2nd through March 8th. So last week, I told you guys that my top song was Bombs in the Ville / Hit the Gas, of course. 298 plays last week. Still a great song. But I also, it gives me another note here that says that I had a 7-day streak with the song Drum and Bass. Drum and Bass is on the first disc, I believe. It initially was probably my favorite song. Like before, I think Poor Thing and Drum and Bass were like my first two repeat bangers before I dove into the album some more. And apparently on March 2nd through March 8th, I played that song every single day. This week, March 9th through March 15th. Well, that was this past week. Oh my God, I'm actually just reading this for the first time. Between March 9th and March 15th, Spotify says that 98% of my music listening was J. Cole. This week, I spent 64 hours and 31 minutes listening to J. Cole. 98% of my music listening was J. Cole this past week. 64 hours? I feel like that's not enough. Sheesh. God. The album just gets better every time. I believe I'm going to read my top songs and my top artists for the week, but I think I haven't read them yet. I think the Let Out definitely made it come up this week. The Let Out has been growing on me. I can't even like, okay, as a music person, if you guys are into rap or music, if you know about this, a lot of times artists like myself, when we hear like a beat, we want to rap our own shit to it. So we'll look for the instrumental. Turns out multiple people have made the instrumental for the entire Fall Off album on YouTube. Every fucking track has an instrumental, and it's so cool. I'm like, okay, let me rap over some of these Fall Off beats. I can't rap over a single fucking beat. The only beat that I can rap over is Bombs in the Ville. But even when I'm rapping my own shit over Bombs in the Ville, all I hear in my head is the song itself playing in my head. And I'm like, it's that great of a song, or I've just heard it that many fucking times. But the Let Out is one of those beats where I'm like, I can't even rap over this, fast or slow. I can't even rap over it. Let Out has made a comeback, I'm pretty sure, this week. My top artist for the week, number one is J. Cole, apparently. 3 weeks, going on the 4th week in the number 1 position. And the top 5 artists are all from the Fall Off: Future, Burna Boy, Erykah Badu, and Petey Pablo this week. I listened to Old Dog a few more times than normal this week. Let's look at my top songs. Yeah, we have the same top songs. Bombs in the Ville / Hit the Gas only has 81 plays this past week. I spent 64 hours listening to J. Cole this past week. But yeah, I only did 81 plays with Bombs in the Ville. Hit the Gas is my number 1 song. Number 2 song was 39 Intro with 60 plays, and my number 3 song was The Let Out with 55 plays. That's been my top 3 songs for the past 3 weeks. I'm not going to lie, this was my first week where I always listen to the Fall Off, morning, noon, and night. Doesn't matter. If I have an opportunity to listen to J. Cole, it's going to be the Fall Off. But the other day I had a deep cleaning day at my bed and breakfast job in the daytime. So I went back to fucking Forest Hills Drive. That's the only thing I'm listening to in 2026 is J. Cole. 98% of it is going to be the Fall Off, and the other 2% is going to be another J. Cole album. I went back to Forest Hills Drive just so I can reset my mind. I listened to half the album before I was like, okay, I'm ready for the Fall Off. Such a great album. All right, that's all I really needed to say. My top 4 song was The Fall Off is Inevitable. Great song. 40 plays. And the 5th song was Only You with Burna Boy. Love that song. It has 39 plays. I also discovered PJ. PJ apparently is a singer. I discovered her on TikTok. She's on the Legacy song. Legacy is actually making a small come up. I don't necessarily... I think... I don't know. It doesn't fully resonate with me. It is a beautiful song, though. So that's the thing. It doesn't fully resonate with me, but it is a beautiful song. Same thing with Life Sentence. Life Sentence was done sort of in the style of DMX and Mace, the rapper, if you guys are old enough to know who the fuck that is. And it just doesn't resonate with me. I don't have a life sentence partner, but it is still a beautiful song. The whole album is still a beautiful song. I think that's it. I'll see you guys in Costa Rica. I'll see you motherfuckers in Costa Rica next week, okay? This time next week, I will be in Costa Rica. My birthday is on Monday, okay? My birthday is on Monday. When I see you guys again, I will be a whole new age in a whole new fucking country. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following me. If you haven't, go follow me. I'll see you guys next week. I hardly want to vent about this story because I really don't want to relive the emotions that I felt earlier. And also, I mean, now that we're a little bit past the point, it's starting to just be really funny. It was kind of funny in the beginning, mostly sad, but and I thought it would be a good entertaining story to tell on the podcast, which I may still do, depending on what kind of revelation I come from this venting. I almost don't even want to vent about it. I'm kind of just trying to make sense of it all, and then maybe when I vent about it again on the podcast, or speak about it again on the podcast, maybe it'll come off as something entertaining. So this is the story, right? First off, I'm still kind of drunk from last night. So there is that. I think this is my first time checking in since that. But this has never really happened to me. Or if it has happened to me, then it's been a long fucking time. I go to the... I'm at Posse Ground Park, parked with my dog, and tomorrow is the last day of work for me for the month. And it's my last opportunity to give Ashes a bath, so I decided today is my last day to brush her, and tomorrow I'll have to get dog food. So I got the good brush, I got my drone, put my sunglasses, my headphones in, and I walk down past the tennis courts. There's like a section where there's trees in the grass, and it's like shaded area. This is at 4 something. I've been out there for an hour brushing my dog. At 4 something, I go out there and I sit in the rocks. We know this story, right? This part I can say for the podcast. Let me just get to this part of the recording that obviously I'm not sharing, because I can accept at the end of it all, I feel like I can accept that I was not out of line for asking the man to give me some space. I was definitely not out of line. But perhaps the energy in which I asked him, he reflected it back to me. Is like the best I can think of right now. It feels like right now, he reflected my energy back to me. I could have asked him how the weather was. People, men especially from this interaction, I'm gathering, they receive your energy before they receive who you are in the physical presence, right? And they're totally unconscious of it. The energy that he reflected back to me, the energy of myself that he reflected back to me, was maybe a little uptight and definitely sexually deprived or sexually frustrated. And I'm not saying that to judge him. I'm trying to honestly look at myself. Maybe, quite possibly, at the time or in the tone in which I asked him if he could give me some space, maybe it was delivered with some sexual frustration and maybe a little uptightness. Maybe. And that's me trying to just be nice, actually. Because that's what he reflected back to me. The very things that he accused me of, I'm willing to bet that he is all of those. He embodies all of those things. Bro, I'm sitting there brushing my dog. In the shade, yes, but it's 4:30. Or 4 o'clock, 4:30. The fucking sun's about to go down. And this is a big ass fucking park. The biggest fucking park in Sedona. There are several spots around here. As he was trying to defend him invading my personal space, I'm looking at other spaces with shade. I know damn well he didn't just come over to this tree where I was sitting by myself with my dog, brushing, minding my own business. I know he didn't come over to that tree because this was the closest shade and his dog was just going to die. I turned around, his dog's rolling in the fucking grass. His dog was not going to die. They could have walked just a few hundred more feet over. I'm not asking you to go to the other side of the park. I'm asking you to find a different fucking shade spot. If that's what you're like, and I didn't even ask him that. I asked if he can give me some space, but he says, he asked me to repeat myself, and I repeated it, and I said it louder because I didn't think he heard me, or I don't think I enunciated. He has toxic masculinity written all in his DNA. And I'm not trying to project. I don't think I'm toxic at all. Like, he clearly came over there because he saw me sitting by myself and he saw that I had a dog. And his dog's cool enough and obedient enough to be off the leash. And he's never seen me before, so I must not be from here. So he probably goes to that park with his cute ass fucking dog and hits on women who come to parks by themselves all the fucking time. He comes up behind me, didn't even bother to like give me like, he's basically dead ass right behind me with his dog, just rolling around in the grass, just like playing. After I was already sitting there for like a good 10 minutes. I was already sitting there minding my own goddamn business. He walked up there because he was trying to be a predator. And then when I asked him if he can give me some space, him asking me to repeat myself was, he heard me the first time, goddammit. I know he heard me the first time, but he was probably flabbergasted that I'm not just saying, oh, come into my space. You've earned it. Get out of my space. Who the fuck are you? You know dogs. You physically have a good-ass dog off the leash. You know dogs. And you know that regardless, if I'm sitting by myself or not, if you see a dog being groomed, like, why are you going over there to disturb that? That's like dog ownership 101. You really, and then my dog, now she's hopping around. I'm continuing to brush her. I don't even look back for like a few minutes. Bro stood behind me for like at least 5 minutes before I even turned back and asked him if he can give me some space. And he went from 0 to 100 real quick. It's almost as if he woke up and chose violence. He was like, the first woman to fucking tell me to get away from her, I'm gonna fucking snap at. Because he went from 0 to a fucking 100. You didn't come over here to get... He's like, what? And I repeated myself, even though I know he damn well fucking hurt me, but he's just trying to process the fact that I don't want him around me while I'm trying to fucking groom my dog. Yes, it's a public park, and yes, this is a shade, but this is not the only fucking shade in the fucking park. Shut the fuck up. After he asked me to repeat myself, and I did, then he, thought of his rebuttal and was like, you want me to leave the only shade in the park? And I looked at him confused. And man, I don't even really want to retell this story because it's so insane how like the only thing I can blame is like, okay, my new awareness is saying that anything that is supposed to happen is meant to happen. So I would say the big lesson for me there is just don't talk to men. But he was in my personal space. He was close enough to make my dog lose concentration while I was grooming her. She was chilling until he came closer and fucking closer and then stayed behind me. He wasn't even walking by. He like planted himself right behind me. Like a fucking weirdo. Like a weirdo. Like he was trying to look for a conversation. I don't want... Even if I wasn't grooming my dog, what gives you the right to come into my space? And this new awareness that I have is saying, okay, what lesson is there from this? To not talk to men? Because there has to be exceptions to the rule. Like, yeah, he could have very well just came over and strangled me right there. Okay? He doesn't have to worry about being strangled by a stranger, especially a woman, being a man, which is probably why he felt like he could just pop off. He said several fucking crazy fucking things like, it leads me to believe that he's suffering. Like, I pray for him. When he said, you want me to leave this shade? I didn't want to argue with him. I don't want to argue with a stranger. Sorry for even opening my mouth. I said, God bless you. And then I went back to brushing my dog. I said, and he's like, you're uptight. I was like, uptight? He's like, you're being uptight. I'm like, you're the one who's snapping at strangers for asking you a simple request. You could have just said no, bro. Then he was like, welcome to Sedona. And I was like, bro, I live here. You live here? Yes, I live here. Bro, why are you choosing violence? Just leave me alone. And then he kept going off about a bunch of shit that I didn't hear. One thing that stuck out, he said, oh, and you're by yourself. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? So you're going to just stand behind a woman who's by herself? Have you no situational awareness? Who the fuck are you? I don't know what mighty lesson I was supposed to learn from this other than, like, I should have just told him to shut the fuck up and see what he would do. I should have just told him to take your little bitch ass somewhere and shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of my face, is what I should have said. But instead, I gave him blessings from God. I said, God bless you. And then I was like, please leave me alone. Because now, the bitch is at the tennis court, which is off in the distance. They're at least like 500 fucking feet away. And now they're stopping playing tennis to look out to hear this grown-ass, big-ass man yelling at this girl who's sitting by herself, minding her own business. I'm not in the wrong. I know I'm not in the wrong for asking him to give me space. But to be his emotional dumping grounds, who the fuck does he think he is? I was like way more polite. And then when I asked him to leave me alone, he just kept mumbling some more shit. And I just turned my music up. I didn't even honestly hear what the hell he was saying. But I do know that he was still behind me. He didn't move. He moved like maybe 20 feet back with his fucking dog. And I'm sure, I think I may have heard him like explaining, or I don't know if he was talking to himself or talking to another person, but he was definitely talking. And I didn't hear it. I was like, okay, whatever. About 10 minutes later, he finally walks past me and I literally, I have no reaction to the man at all. He said, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope I never see you again. And in that moment, I don't know if prayers are getting answered, if it's coming from a hateful place. I don't know where he is. He's in a dark space. The guy is in pain. He's in the dark place right now, I can tell. In that moment, as he hoped that he never see me again, out of love from the bottom of my heart, I hoped that he did see me ever again, because I really hope that I can just fucking torment him just with my existence. I hope you suffer for the rest of your fucking life just at the sight of me. I hope the sight of me just ruins your whole day. I mean that with love, because there is no way for you to come at me like that. God bless you. I'm praying for whatever fucking demons you're fighting right now. I pray that you can move through them more peacefully. And I pray that the next woman you choose to snap at, who's just asking you to give her some fucking space, I hope she doesn't fucking, I don't know, get you, I don't know, say something wrong to get you to fucking react in a way that'll get you thrown in jail, which is probably where you should be. God damn. I'm too nice to these guys. I'm too nice. Like, it meant more to him to snap at me. So I just let him have it, bro. It meant more to him. Like, a million thoughts and comebacks came through my mind at that very instance. I literally could have went full-blown Chirac on them. You don't even know me. You don't even know me. Why are you standing so close to me? And why are you butthurt when I ask you to move? You're seriously going through some shit. I pray you fucking find the fucking clarity that you need right now, because I'm not gonna entertain it. I could have said so much. I could have said so much. That's real strength right there. He's giving real little dick energy. I could have even said that. I can't believe I didn't think of that comeback. But no, I was trying to come from a space of love and respect. So, yeah, I hope I see him every day. I hope that his favorite place to eat, he comes in there every fucking day and gets to see me, and it ruins his fucking meal. I hope he books a room at my fucking my bed and breakfast. I hope he books a room there. I hope he's got some serious fucking business and nerve to fucking do that. And gets to see me and have me go through his personal belongings while I clean his room. You just go off popping off at little girls. Okay. And it pleased me when he said, welcome to Sedona. I get it. This is a tourist town, and I don't look like I was born here. I wasn't born here. But I know damn well that nigga wasn't born here either. That nigga wasn't born here. He got stuck in traffic, or he got laid off, or his girl left him for a black dude or someone with a bigger dick, or something. Something really fucking hurt him. Something. I think that's all the energy I'm going to give to it. Yeah, I pray that I can't really fathom, like, the only, like, the personal responsibility, the accountability thing. What role did I have to play in that just not working out at all? Should I have just let this strange man stand behind me with the dog? As a sovereign human being, I have the right to my personal space, and you knew damn well what you were doing, bringing your dog behind while I'm brushing my dog. Predatory behavior, and I called you out on it respectfully by asking you to leave me alone or give me some space, and you went 0 to a fucking 100. I am not in the wrong for that. I was not. I feel like the best I can do is say that maybe I was coming in hot by asking him. Maybe I should have just moved myself to the other shade. Just remove myself. I think next time, that's just what I'll do. I'll just remove myself. There is no way my heart wants any of this. I don't want any of this. Like, unhealed bullshit that I have to, like, carry. And I'm only speaking it out right now so I don't carry it. What a fucking piece of work that person was. Bless his heart. And I'm by myself. What the fuck is it to you? Oh, so you noticed. So you do admit that you're a dumbass, or that you're just predatory. You think this is an accident? No, this is intentional. I intentionally came out here by myself with my dog. This was on purpose. Why are you here? Anyway, I got shit-faced last night. By shit-faced, I mean I had 3 beers and a fucking Jello shot. Got to learn more about 2 beautiful souls, but they're, I don't know. They're kind of strung out on men. It's kind of strung out on men because she knows that she's beautiful and is a dominatrix because she's probably really insecure. She, like, prides on herself on treating men like shit, and there's nothing wrong with that. I used to identify with that lifestyle a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that consensually. But I think that's what it is. I think a lot of these sexual encounters are tied to some kind of trauma in a way. These sexual preferences or tendencies or kinks. Like I said, I had a humiliation kink the other day. I do not have a humiliation kink. No, I don't like being humiliated. I haven't healed the part of me that was traumatized as a kid from humiliation. I haven't healed that part of me yet. So I'm writing it off as that. Just trying to validate my poor decisions. And it's not that they're poor decisions. I'm going off of what I know. Or what I'm willing to know. I know that I can just know more in the deep dive into myself, but I haven't tapped onto it yet. Like, there's some trauma there And maybe it's all just tied back to my stepdad and my mom. Maybe it's all tied back to that. There's sexual trauma usually in these weird fucking kinks that are just like, I don't know. Are they weird, or they're just something that I don't see every day? Because it's like, who am I to say what's natural? Is it natural to just be gay, or natural to just have regular vanilla fucking sex, and anything outside of that has to come from trauma? Like, I don't know what's natural. I think, and it's like, it feels like it's just like a never-ending cycle of sexual trauma, because we're born from sex. Literally, I was born out of a sexually traumatic experience from my mom. And it just carries on and carries on and carries on. Yeah, and I don't know if I'm fit for it. That's the thing. Not really fit. I could be if I wanted to, but really, it's giving like, why spend your life force energy on that? Why spend your life force energy on bearing other people's unhealed fucking trauma just for the sake of not being alone? Just for the sake of being liked? It seems counterproductive, bro. Hell no. And if no one can meet me where I'm at, then no one's meeting me. I'm intentionally being by myself because no one can meet me where I am. No one's able to. I'm not saying you're uninvited. If you can get to me, then I can at least give you a conversation. But I can't even say 4 words. Couldn't you give us some space? 6 words. Maybe I said please. I don't think I said please, because the nigga was way too fucking close for me to even be worried about manners at that point. He was being rude right off the bat, and he knows it. But I digress. I can't even say 6 words to, like, anyone who's all these NPCs. Really, NPCs. He went off like a fucking character in GTA, bro. You are literally not even real. He's literally not even real. So, if that was meant for me, it was meant for this deep dive in right now. But I don't want to have to go through that again. I'm going to know better to just, like, don't interact with NPCs. Just don't interact with NPCs. Just move away from them. Just move away from them. If life's a fucking stage or a fucking video game, if this is all GTA 6 right now in real fucking time, I have no idea why you're standing so fucking close to me. I don't care to know why you're standing so close to me. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna give you like 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna fucking move. Next time. That's what would happen. And in any situation, avoid talking to an NPC ass motherfucker at all costs. They're all NPCs. A main character energy person can reach you. I'm sorry that I'm not all out there with my fucking, like, no, you can just call me the J. Cole of energy right now. Like, I don't have to fucking flex. I literally don't. And when I do, you guys get scared and intimidated. And you should be. I don't need to fucking flex out here. Leave me alone. It's just, yeah, that whole thing was fucking wild. No, I don't want to. It hurts my heart. Right now, I just feel it in my heart. Like, I don't want to... I don't have it in me. Not even that I don't want to. I don't even have it in me to give any fucks about, like, whatever fucking bullshit you're dealing with. Literally. Bro was having a bad day. I took one for the fucking team. It'd be the loudest fucking people in the room who I can't even fucking hear. Bro, I literally can't hear you. And that's with everybody. With the exception of all the employees at both of my jobs. They are NPCs, but I can calmly interact with them, or really not at all. They know me as the quiet, hard-working black girl on the grill. I'm quiet, I'm hard-working, I'm sweet, short and sweet and to the point. I do my job in its entirety every fucking day. You don't really need to talk to me. Why are we talking? This isn't real to me. You don't even need to talk to me. You can call it no personality if you want. I highly doubt they think I have no personality. I would like to believe that they know that I got a big personality, but I'm containing myself. Big personality, big fucking energy. It rocks a man unconscious, apparently. The guy went fucking blackout mode. From my energy, apparently. I don't need to... I got better things to put my energy towards, that's all. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect. I just do my job. Everyone outside that, with the exception of... Other than that, all the customers, all the fucking tourists, all the locals, everybody else. There's not many main characters in this town. Not that I know about. Not in my story. Are they only an NPC if they're not involved in your story? NPCs can be involved in your story. They just help you out, right? They just, like, guide you along the way. I don't know. I feel like he's an NPC. They're all NPCs. And it's crazy. I don't know if that discourages me and makes me want to leave, or if that just makes me want to stay here. Literally, just out of spite, just like that, I want to stay in Sedona forever, and I want to make sure that guy sees me every single day, so that he just gets all puffy and puffy, familiar with seeing my fucking face. But low-key, no, I don't. I don't want to stay here forever. Super pretentious attitude, talking about some welcome to Sedona, like, you know how many times I've heard that? I've traveled all over the country, and I've probably had, you know, a run-in, let's just say everywhere. I don't hear welcome to enter this city's name as much anywhere else as I hear it here in Sedona. Maybe in Denver. A little pretentious in Denver, too. Maybe. Welcome to Sedona. Like, I often hear that from everyone. Whether they're saying it in a good way or bad way. You guys just get to be pretentious because it's a beautiful place. That's probably the part that I'm not sticking with so well. Maybe I'm a small town girl. I don't know if I can move again, though. I'm tired of moving. I know that for sure. I would like to just get a fucking place out here. But I don't want to turn into these people. I don't want to turn into the person that's just like, welcome to Sedona. Yeah, I live here. I don't want to be that person. I don't know anyone who lives in Sedona. Who also works in Sedona. Come on. Bring my little rug in to clean, because I can't afford to do a whole load of laundry or buy a new rug. I'm about to go spray that shit off at work because I puked on it last night. Anyway, I love you, Chandrie.